My husband ignored my calls the entire day and strolled in just before midnight, grinning like everything was normal. Then, without a hint of shame, he said he had slept with his boss and didn't regret it. I didn't argue. I simply continued eating my dinner in silence. The next morning, when he woke up expecting breakfast and coffee, what he found on the table ended everything. It started like any Tuesday, the first Tuesday of the month, our date night for a decade. At 6 a.m., my alarm buzzed, pulling me from a dream I can't recall. Blake slept on, oblivious, as he always did, until his 6:30 alarm. I slipped out of bed, my bare feet cold against the hardwood, and padded to the kitchen. The smell of brewing coffee filled our home, the same scent that's greeted us for 12 years in this house. I measured out his 2 sugars with the precision of a chemist, a ritual born from 17 years of marriage, of learning his smallest preferences. By 6:45, his breakfast was ready. Eggs with sharp cheddar, he called mild cheese pointless, and toast spread just right. I can still see the butter knife in my hand, scraping carefully, as if perfection could keep us whole. "Morning, beautiful," Blake mumbled when he shuffled downstairs, hair sticking up on one side, kissing my cheek while reaching for his coffee. Our choreography was flawless, automatic. "Don't forget it's Tuesday," I said, nodding at the fridge calendar. "Date night. Wouldn't miss it," he replied, already scrolling his phone. "Clara's got me in meetings all day, but I'll be home by 7. Clara Whitmore, his boss of 3 months, her name now a constant at our dinner table. Brilliant, he called her. Innovative. I'd met her once at a company picnic, her designer heels sinking into the grass, her smile never reaching her eyes as she complimented my potato salad. "She's intense," Blake had said early on, "but I'm learning so much." The late nights crept in slowly. Thursdays for team building, then Tuesdays for strategic planning. By month 2, any night could be a Claire night. He'd come home at 10-11 p.m., sometimes midnight, smelling of cologne I didn't recognize. New air fresheners at the office, he'd explained when I mentioned it. Clara's productivity study. For 17 years, we'd worn the same scents. His woody aftershave, my vanilla body spray from Target. Now he smelled like a department store counter I'd never visit. Then came the phone password. One night, I reached for his phone to set our alarm, a habit as old as our marriage. "What's the passcode?" I asked. "Just use yours," he said, snatching it back. Company policy. Claire's new security protocols. I should have known then, but 17 years of trust blinds you. It makes you stupid. After Blake left that morning, I went through my routine. Shower, sensible librarian clothes, yogurt with granola. I manage our local library branch, 15 employees, thousands of books, endless community programs. Not glamorous like Clara's corporate world, but mine. At lunch, my phone buzzed. Victoria, my sister, texted, "Coffee tomorrow? Near your library at 2. I agreed, unaware she'd spend it warning me about Blake. As a partner at Brennan & Associates, she saw divorces daily, her lens sharpened by other people's wreckage. Last week she'd been blunt. "He missed your birthday dinner, Kennedy. I saw his car at the Ember Hotel bar during my client meeting. I'd brushed it off. Maybe clients," I'd said. She'd grab my hand. "Check your joint accounts. Just check." I hadn't. Checking meant doubting, and doubting meant facing what I wasn't ready to see. That Tuesday, I left work early, stopping at 3 stores for lasagna ingredients, specific ricotta, exact meat ratios, perfect seasoning. I spent 2 hours layering it, my hands steady with purpose, the kitchen warm with the promise of tradition. I set the table with our wedding china, ivory with silver edges, chosen when forever felt certain.
And the future was mine to shape.
Beeswax candles flickered, not the cheap grocery store kind. I wore the green dress from our anniversary, the one Blake said made my eyes look like emeralds. At noon, I texted, "Don't forget our night." His reply, a thumbs-up emoji for our decade-old tradition. I told myself he was busy, swamped by Clara. By 7 p.m., the lasagna was perfect, but his chair was empty. 7:30. Running late, I texted, no response, 8 o'clock, lasagna back in the oven, 8:30. I opened wine, then poured it back. The candles burned lower, 9 o'clock. Everything okay? By 10 o'clock, I'd blown them out, the kitchen thick with the scent of wasted effort. That's when I started calling, not casually, but with the insistence of a wife who fears her husband is hurt, or with someone else. The first call at 6:15 p.m. went to voicemail after 5 rings. His voice, cheerful and professional. "You've reached Blake Carver. Leave a message." I didn't. He'd see the missed call, know I was checking on dinner. The lasagna was browning, the house alive with the smell of humé. By 6:30, no callback. Unusual, but not alarming. Claire's quick sync meetings often dragged on. At 7 o'clock, his empty chair mocked me across the candlelit table. I called again. 2 rings, then voicemail. Declined. My chest tightened. Blake never declined my calls, even in meetings. By 7:30, I left a message, my voice light. Hey, just checking if you're okay, dinner's ready. By 8 o'clock, 4 calls, each unanswered, knot in my stomach. I stood at the living room window, staring at our empty driveway. The Hendersons across the street ate dinner, their window glowing with normalcy. By 8:15, call 5 felt foolish. Was I that wife, unable to give him space? But we had plans, sacred First Tuesday plans that survived job changes, family deaths, even Blake's pneumonia year. Calls 6 and 7 at 8:45 came back to back, my fingers shaking not with anger, but with fear. Car accidents happened. Heart attacks struck men his age. Terrible things unfolded while wives waited with cooling dinners. By 9 o'clock, I scrolled our texts, searching for clues. The pattern screamed, "In meetings 12 times this month. Claire needs this project finished 8 times. Don't wait up 6, including last Tuesday when he bailed on helping my mother move her dresser. Sorry, Ken." Claire called an emergency strategy session. He texted at 9:30 p.m. Mom hired movers, too polite to complain, but her disappointment stung. Call 10 at 9:45. The lasagna, now an accusation on the stovetop, sat untouched. I bargained with the universe. Let him be okay, and I'll never question Claire again. Let him answer, and I'll forget the clone, the password, the late nights. At 10:15, between calls 11 and 12, I opened our laptop. Blake's email was still logged in. He never signed out. Claire's subject lines filled his inbox. Meet you on this. Can you stay late? Quick drink to celebrate. Plural betrayals disguised as singular professional needs. At 10:30, Mrs. Patterson called. Kennedy, is everything all right? Blake's car hasn't been in the driveway much. I lied. Working late. She hesitated. I saw him last week at 2 a.m. Thought he was at the hospital. My blood chilled. My mother's fine, I said. Call 13 at 10:45, 14 at 11. The candles were stumps, wax pooling on the tablecloth. My wedding ring caught the light, mocking 17 years of promises. At 11:15, call 15. I left a message, voice controlled. Blake, I'm worried. Please let me know you're safe. Then, an American Express notification. $400 at Ember Hotel Restaurant, 8:47 p.m. My hand steadied. The app showed champagne, Veuve Clicquot, not house brand, filet mignon, salmon, chocolate soufflé for 2. While I warmed his mother's lasagna, Blake was toasting Clara. Call 16 at 11:30. I didn't expect an answer. It was ritual now, giving him every chance to not be who he was. Call 17 at 11:45. I stared at my reflection in the dark window, a woman no longer worried, but certain. When Blake walked in, the perfume hit first, floral and aggressive, like a woman who takes what she wants. Long day at the office? I asked, my voice steady. He grabbed a beer, ignoring the lasagna. You could say that. Then he said it. He slept with Clara multiple times and didn't regret it. I ate another bite of lasagna, the fork my anchor, and said nothing. I didn't sleep. At 3 a.m., I opened my laptop, creating Project Silent Storm. Assets. Our $47,832 savings, the house, mortgage in my name only, thanks to Blake's old credit mess, both cars. Liabilities, his credit card debt, student loans, his ego. Action items, transfer funds, cancel his cards, call Victoria. By 3:17, I moved the savings to my secret account, opened when the clone changed. By 3:45, his 3 supplementary cards were canceled. The representative didn't blink. Remove the authorized user? Absolutely. At 4:30, I scheduled 3 divorce attorneys before noon, Victoria first at 7. By 5, exhaustion clawed at me, but I had one last performance. Blake's breakfast perfect as always, but not for him. I texted Marcus, my gym trainer, 6'3" and built like a swimmer. Want to earn $200 for eating breakfast and looking gorgeous? This sounds like a crime or the best story ever, he replied. Just breakfast and light psychological warfare. Bacon included. I'm there by 7:15. At 7, I changed into my best casual dress. Hair done, makeup subtle. Marcus arrived at 7:20, his fitted Henley doing wonders. "You look like you're committing a beautiful crime," he said. "Just serving breakfast." At 7:45, Blake walked in, checking his phone. "Smells amazing, babe." "Oh, it is," I said, pouring orange juice. "Marcus thinks so too." Blake's head snapped up. Marcus sat in Blake's chair eating Blake's eggs. "Kennedy, these are incredible. You're too good for him." Blake's face cycled through colors. "What? Who is this?" "Blake, meet Marcus. My soon-to-be ex-husband spent yesterday exploring his boss's office space." Marcus whistled. 17 ignored calls. Not classy, man. Blake stepped forward. Marcus stood, all 6 feet 3 inches. "I think she can." The doorbell rang. Victoria walked in, power suit pristine, briefcase in hand. "Here's your separation agreement, Blake. 48 hours to respond. Get a lawyer." Clara's panicked voice spilled from Blake's phone. "Richard knows. He has the receipts." Blake rushed outside, pacing the driveway, one hand on his forehead. Inside, Victoria, Marcus, and I watched his collapse begin. Blake's life unraveled fast. His keycard was deactivated Monday. Security escorted him to HR. They had emails, texts, parking garage footage of him and Clara. Clara's office was empty. Her father resigned from the board. Linda, her assistant, sent a mass email exposing Clara's 4 affairs. Blake was number 4. The CEO called me, apologetic, offering consideration for discretion. I declined. I drove to Blake's office for closure, collecting his boxed-up life. 2 cardboard boxes, lighter than 17 years should be. Linda apologized. "I should have warned you." "Good," I said when she mentioned exposing Clara. At Morello's Thursday, I wore a red dress, unforgettable, and dined with Richard Whitmore, Clara's husband, at her reserved table. To wives who know their worth, he toasted, glasses clinking. He showed me a photo, Blake and Clara's shabby apartment, living on a Murphy bed. They fought constantly, the thrill gone. My phone buzzed with gossip. Mrs. Patterson, my mother, even Blake's mother, who sent roses. "You were always too good for my son." 6 months later, I'm regional manager for 3 library branches, a 20% raise, an office with windows. My book club became Wives Who Won Wines, a profitable venture. Blake's a junior consultant, taking the bus. His world shrunk to Tupperware lunches. He showed up one rainy Thursday, soaked, holding wilting flowers. "Clara left me," he said. "I realize what I lost." "Your realization's 17 months late," I replied, closing the door. Richard and I play tennis Saturdays, laughing at our terrible serves, healing together. I eat Blake's breakfast now, eggs, toast, coffee, for me. The kitchen table, once a battlefield, is mine. My bare hand, free of the ring I sold, holds my mug. The woman who waited for 17 calls is gone. This woman, born from betrayal, built from strength, runs libraries, owns a business, and never waits. The rain stopped. The air smells like freedom. My life, imperfect but mine, is exactly where I need to be.